we don't all own the same clothes. This is filmed on the same night as the first one. Right. And maybe the third one or fourth, depending on how many we do. Right. Okay.
Well, that's what we want them to think.
Yeah.
This is movie Inception. That film. Inception.
This is just wardrobe.
That's a girl around the back with makeup.
Right. Movie idea number 0002. Am I doing the voice again?
Well, it's like a staple now. It's tradition, isn't it?
After one video.
Yeah, I mean, once you've done the first one.
Right, I'll do the
It's
voice.
never-
Well, I mean, we do it in the voice and then we just reread it in a normal voice.
I know, but
Yeah, so people actually know what I'm saying. Right.
Goddamn.
You ready?
Let's go for it, man.
Right. Let me just read through it.
Yeah, because
Honestly, my handwriting's awful. Hang on.
Hey, which one are we doing?
we're doing the Tom Hanks one.
Tom Hanks. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, right. Tom Hanks is a blind grandfather to a drug-dealing Paul Rudd, who falls foul to Kevin Spacey's drug lord empire. Whilst held captive, he makes notes in Braille and sends them to Tom Hanks, who helps devise a map and escape route. But it turns out he's not even blind. He's deaf.
I like that.
Okay, you say the name of
It's like the definition of movie twist right there.
That's an M. Night shot. That's Sixth Sense shit.
It's like, it's the most
senses.
He was dead the whole time. No, he just wasn't blind.
it's a pointless movie twist, but it's a twist nonetheless.
Shit, not.
Sometimes twisting for twisting's sake is okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Can we think of any films where that's happened?
Every M. Night Shyamalan ever made.
Alright, well,
In The Usual Suspects, they didn't need to make Kevin Spacey character, so.
I I think Kevin Spacey could...
Kevin Spacey has a knack that's twist for him, so doesn't he?
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey can play...
He's got ideal choice.
Kevin Spacey can play any bad guy he wants.
Why, because he's a prick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin
I
Spacey,
like-
if you want to fund this film, I think you're the nicest guy in the world.
No, but seriously though, Kevin Spacey is like... He's the kind of person you see in a film, and then you see in real life, and you're just a dick to him for no reason, because he was...
a prick.
Because he was a prick in some
Yeah,
film.
totally. Or you even fucking...
I mean, especially now that he's
now
now that he's lowered himself to Call of Duty as well.
Yeah, true, actually.
Wouldn't quite load himself. We probably got paid a fuckload of money for him.
Probably.
Sold out.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'd sell out for a move on.
I'd sell out for a role in Call of Duty.
To be
God,
fair,
I'm
Gary
not-
Oldman-
not- not-
came in your fucking bedroom
Yeah.
filming this.
Now that I've got any
Gary Oldman
He's
was in Call of
talking
Duty.
Oh shit! Oh,
Sergeant Reznov.
why haven't we made a Gary Oldman film?
That's a work in progress.
Next
Work
to
in
do
progress.
Yeah, right.
You can't just come up with one.
Tom Hanks-
Think about Gary Oldman.
Right.
Tom Hanks is a blind grandfather.
Okay,
purely because
Let's
Tom
just
Hanks is blind.
let's just take this
Step by
from the
step.
top, step by step. Right. Tom Hanks. Okay. So it's Tom Hanks, lovable actor. Really.
Yeah, everyone
But
likes.
yeah, who done that?
Everyone likes a bit of Tom Hanks.
I mean, and who doesn't like disabled people? And if you
Me.
don't,
I know.
you're a bad person.
Right, fucking true story, right? True story. I was on the train to work the other day, and I didn't want to sit next to like this Down syndrome girl kept talking to me. And I didn't want
Keep it to yourself.
and I didn't want to, because I had fear that she talked to me. It's like I had my headphones in, and I was like, I'm moody and got to work. I can't be asked. And I had a headache, and I was like, she said, like, do you want to sit next to me? I was like, no, I'm alright. I'm good standing. Someone else can sit down if you want. And everyone looked at me like, you dick. And I was like, I'm not a dick. Why? You're allowed to. Just because someone's disabled doesn't mean you're not allowed to not like them.
Well, why did what?
Yeah, I know. Actually,
Just very polite and ask if you wanted to sit down.
Kind of say.
What, like from in between us who's like
Yeah,
disabled?
yeah, and also I just want to point out, apparently Stephen Hawking's a cunt.
Mr. Hawking, if you're watching this,
Stephen Hawking trivia there. Word on the street, lads.
Yeah. Where'd you learn that?
The streets.
Come for the movie
I
idea,
think-
stay for the trivia.
I think it was Simpsons.
Yes.
I think it was Simpsons. Right now, let's
Tom Hanks has never had a blind role in Flight of Rock currently.
no, but
He's played every.
he's played
everything
Tom
else.
Hanks has played everything. He's played an astronaut. He's played a.
he's played a fucking toy.
Yeah. Technically, he's played a toy and a cowboy.
Well,
There we go.
I mean,
Two more.
I bet I can find a Western film that Tom Hanks is in.
Paul Rudd is.
While
While he's a drug dealer,
the lovable drug dealer, it's kind of like what's
it's
that
like
film?
he's in too deep.
Because I'm in
Yeah,
too deep.
exactly. But yeah, it's like We're the Millers. You kind
Yes. The drug dealer in that. What's that?
Jason Sudeikis.
You know too many actors, man.
Yeah, no.
But so the lovable drug dealer.
He's like, he's in too deep, and you kind of want him to get out of it, but you can't because you kind of want him to succeed and get a big drug.
And plus, we all love Paul Rudd from everything he's ever done. Ever.
Paul Rudd's never done a bad thing.
I think if Paul Rudd asked me to marry him, I'd go ahead and say
It's made of bits of real paper.
so you know it's good.
Wait.
It's
made of dead, so it gets better after each washing.
The hooded guest.
Oh. Right, Kevin Spacey, we've already covered.
We've already covered Kevin Spacey because we generally think he's a cunt.
Right, and Kevin Spacey Kevin Spacey gets pissed off because there's a drug deal going wrong, and Paul Rudd loses a lot of money for Kevin Spacey.
I think we can steal the storyline from We're the Millers.
Essentially. But,
We'll make it better because it's got Tom Hanks there.
Yeah, kind of, because Kevin Spacey locks Paul Rudd in like a dungeon.
A dungeon
Business thing.
Right, but for some reason, this dungeon has like access, and one day Tom Hanks, because he's blind, he's got a load of different senses. He kind of senses that Paul Rudd is locked in this dungeon, which kind of has for some reason, in like
the quality's in the details.
A plot hole.
In this plot, isn't it?
A plot hole within the film is that somehow Paul.
Wait, no. What?
We're power of telekinesis.
Fucking stop you there. You don't fucking pitch a film and say a plot hole.
It gets people talking.
It gets talking how shit.
This is the exact bullshit he's going to come and hit the fucking producer on the ass.
Right. Paul Rudd, for some reason, has waterproof paper in his dungeon.
Say for some reason.
Right.
It's just whatever his volition.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, I got it. Do you remember Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Do you remember the paper that he writes home to Jenny on?
Yes.
If you remember correctly, the majority of those letters that he wrote home to Jenny were during the rainy season, when sometimes it rained straight down, sometimes it rained straight back up.
Oh no, here we go. He has a bottle. Every time, like, Kevin Spacey gives him a drink, he has a bottle. He writes a letter in a bottle, and it somehow ends up in the sewage system, which is right next door to Tom Hanks' house.
Well, that's a lucky job. I'm a blind man. I'm walking a sewage system. Gets a message in a bottle appears.
So I'm gonna say it's a blind man's hobby to watch the sewage system.
This is so ridiculous. I'm walking out. This is fucking ridiculous.
He sniffs out this bottle, which the note inside happens to be written in Braille. And even though Tom Hanks isn't really blind, he's deaf. He knows
Dan,
Braille.
come on,
He knows Braille.
Dan, come on,
even
man.
Though
I need you in this.
He's not really blind. He's deaf, but he knows Braille. And Tom Hanks uncovers this note and discovers that Paul Rudd is captive and has to devise an escape route.
Can I just say,
how does Paul Rudd know Braille? How does he write Braille on a piece of paper?
Because his granddad Tom Hanks taught him
can't write Braille.
But Tom Hanks isn't even blind.
You've got to feel it.
But Tom Hanks knew Braille for some reason.
He can't write.
Tom Hanks is a Vietnam War veteran or something, and the way he escaped the Viet Cong was through Braille or something. Right, Connor, I'm not being harsh.
I've kind of made this go from sold to not sold.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna break the conventions, break the fourth wall here, but I'm gonna talk to you. People of the intranets.
Yeah.
This storyline was a sold storyline. Connor's fucked it up.
I just made it far too
missions of obvious plot holes.
Waterproof paper.
Message in a bottle.
Bottled
Braille messages.
Bottles supplied by Kevin Spacey. And then I'm assuming the soundtrack is written by Sting. Just every time Paul Rudd sends a message out, this message in a bottle just gets played. Just like, I hope my grandfather finds this.
The final bit where we learn that Tom Hanks wasn't really blind, he was deaf, is where he's holding a gun to Kevin Spacey and just shoots him straight in the face. I'm blind, of course I know your face.
But grandfather, how did you make that shot? Well, the truth is, Paul. I was defo.
How did you hear him say it?
No, I know. We go through this bit. We go through this bit now. It's like we go through a montage where we realise that Tom Hanks wasn't actually blind, but it's all super obvious. Like he's in Starbucks and he's like, "Yeah, I'll have that one, love."
Or like a glass is like falling off the table, just like whoop. Yeah, no one noticed.
Yeah, how did you know that?
I heard it.
The only reason we did this film as a second video is because we all agreed that it was good. We just turned into a ridiculous.
Actually, that's a good point. We thought we need to captivate our audience with
I think we got
a really good plot.
We've got to change the title, the channel title to Awful Movie Ideas.
No, because some of these are actually really fucking good.
But amazing movie ideas completely ruined by 3 knobheads.
Yes.
Yeah, essentially. Right, verdict, please. Go on, because it's gone over 10 minutes.
I was sold since the waterproof paper and Sting doing the soundtrack.
I never said Sting was going to do the soundtrack. Can we make fun?
I am
unsold with Sting under any condition.
He's a dickhead. He takes all his fucking money. I will not work with Sting. Dan, what's your verdict?
I'm in total concurrence with Quinton here.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
Connor, now that you've come up with a fucking master plan here, come on.
I'll probably take this project on my own and see what I can do with it.
Are we saying that you're gonna get like G-list actors and do this with Film 4?
Yeah.
If you can get Tom Hanks to get him that film,
Paul Rudd gets captured in Bristol.
I will personally
and that guy from Misfits is the bad guy.
Tom, a cook from Skins is like the fucking Paul Rudd role.
It's this ludicrous premise.
Right, well, I'm sold on it.
I'll
just work on it a bit. I'll work on it.
Work on what?
The idea is there.
What is this?
Apart from a cat.
So basically, you're gonna fucking rewrite the whole fucking thing. That's working on it, making a completely different film.
Okay, well I'm sold. You're not sold. You're not sold.
Right, tell you what, Connor.
Yeah.
If you make that work, you can take 100% of the credit, and you can even put me in the credits at the bottom as Quinn O'Connell, naysayer.
Yeah, right. Done.